Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. This video is about one of the very important topic for major IT professional because a lot of us wants to move to a developed country, be it in Europe and especially in the US because of the job market. It provides us a lot of good opportunities as well as good pay package. So today we'll talk about US visa and what are the different types of US visa, how you can get it, what are the processes, and what are the latest changes that has come up in 2023 which will be applied for 2024 onwards. So we'll talk about all of these one by one. So first of all, as we all know that IT sector is a very big market in India, and a lot of IT professionals working in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi NCR, Pune, and so many other cities. A lot of us have this aspiration to go to a developed nation in Europe, Singapore, and especially in the United States. So I have personally have worked in US as well as I have spent some time in Germany and other parts of the Europe. So I have both type of visa in for the US. One is called business visa where you can go for a couple of weeks to couple of months and you can spend your time, but that is not a work visa. You cannot work there on that visa, but you can go to meet people for meetings, for understanding some problems, this kind of things you can do on the business visa, and this is for a short duration. Another type of visa is H1B, which is a work permit. Your employer will file this for you. So this allows you to work for a longer period. Initially, it comes with a 3 years of validation, and it can again be renewed for another 3 years. So total 6 years in total. And meanwhile, in this period, if you apply for your green card, then it can also be extended. So third type of category of the visa is L1 visa. So the difference between L1 and H1B visa are that L1 visa is specific to one particular employer. That even though you can move to the US for and work there, but you cannot change companies in L1 visa. But in H1B visa, you can switch between the companies as well. So that is more flexible. Okay, and but again it is more harder to get as well, and there is a lot of complex process in this, and there is a what we call it is a lottery system based approach. There are also other type of visas which we file as a student, but I'm not going to talk about those visas because those are only for student. If required, I can create a separate video on that on request. Okay, so in B1 visa the process is kind of straightforward. Again, your employer will be filing for you in the company which you are doing. So they ask for a lot of information. What is your current designation? What is your current salary? How many years you have been in this organization, and so many so other. And apart from this, all the legal documents, your educational details. So what from my understanding, right, when I went through this visa, and obviously you will have to go through an interview process also. So they look for someone who are actually talented, right? So these visas that a US government provides are they seek for highly intellectual individuals with the technical expertise. So if you are a technical person, your chances of getting these visas will be higher compared to non-technical person. B1 visa you can get either for a short term as less as 1 year and up to 10 years. It depends on how your interview goes as well as what are your skill set and where are you in your company, right? So a lot of factors come into play. I would suggest someone who has recently joined an organization, they should avoid applying for B1 visa as well as H1B visa from my understanding, because I have seen a lot of people, their visa got cancelled because of this one reason, because they had recently joined or the US consulate are not convinced about their validity of the skill set, right? If you have been in the organization for quite a few years, then you can certainly apply for it. And again, like I said, if you are from a good college, from your educational background, because these US consulate people, they have been interviewing a lot of candidates on a daily basis, so they have a lot of knowledge of Indian culture and Indian colleges environment, right? And they know that there are IITs and NITs which are Ivy League colleges compared to some other institutes, so that will also help. But this is not a necessary condition all the time. People from other colleges as well have got their visas, and especially if you are coming from a startup, then it may be a little more difficult, because you have to convince that there is nothing wrong, right? That there is a chance that they may perceive that startups they may be doing something fraudulent, because there are some agencies who does that, right? So this is another factor that adds to it. H1B visa is even more difficult to get. and there is a lottery system. But again, in that also these things matters. And during the interview process, they will ask you a couple of questions. What are your skill set? Why do you want to go? What are your motivation? Whether you want to come back or not. So one thing that is very common, especially in H1B or L1, that you have to convince them that you are not looking to settle there. Okay, that you are willing to go there for a change of your environment, maybe for to explore a different work culture, a different work environment. But you are not planning to get married there or settle for a longer duration, right? Because like I said, these are work permits. They are just allowing some person to work there for a couple of years, right? They do not allow this, and they do not initiate this visa for them to settle out there, right? So you should avoid doing that. Those who are on H1, right? So generally the process starts in, I think, February or March. You have application deadline in April sometime, and then there are lottery system. Like I said, once the employer submits your application, there will be a lottery system. They does the lottery, and generally you get some update starting from May onwards, May, June onwards. You will start getting some update on your application where it is. So the once if you have got your update, generally in July or August, your visa date usually starts from October of that year, and from October it goes for next 3 years. Like I said, for the first stamping. So whenever you have an option to fly out, you will have to again go for a stamping of the visa. Okay. If you are on H1B and if you are married, your spouse will also get a visa that is called H4 visa, and that your employer will have to file separately along with your application, because you have H1B. So based on that, so person with H4 visa cannot work in the USA. And there are different ways they can at a later stage they can also get some job, but initially on someone on H4 visa cannot do any kind of job and cannot earn anything. Okay, only H1B holder can earn, make a living. Okay. Now coming to one of the complex problem is that once your visa expires, right? So earlier what used to happen is that people who are holding visa, they have to file for renewal, and for renewal, until their application is approved, they cannot move out of the country. And once their application for renewal is approved, they have to come back to their original like a nation of origin, and in this case probably India, that you have to come back to your country and get it renewed again. So this was a very complex problem. So US government has recognized these issues, and in recent time, very this is the latest news, that they are trying to resolve this. Now someone with the H1B visa, they do not need to go back to their own country. They can just start their renewal process within the US itself, and they can get it renewed. So this is one of the major update that has come from the US government recently. This was just a basic overview of the visa process. But if you guys are interested in knowing the more detailed understanding of the visa process, let me know. I'll make a separate and more detailed video, because I have traveled both on B1 business visa as well as H1B visa. Once you reach the US, right, once your tickets and everything is done, and then there will be again interview. It's kind of interview for all the immigrants who are reaching to a new country, where the immigration officer will ask you a couple of questions, and you need to know all the things about your employer and your employment, that where are you going to stay, what are your salary over there, right? And what are your skill set, why you have been called, why your skill cannot be replaced by someone who is already in the US, what was the need for you to travel, right? So these kind of questions comes during the interview as well as during the immigration also. So these are the couple of things that you need to keep in mind. One more important tip that I would suggest, that if you are applying for any kind of US visa, one thing that I have observed that helps is that if you have some travel history to some other developed nation, be it any other small country as well. Let's say if you have gone for holidays in Maldives or Thailand or Indonesia, Bali, or anywhere, even if you have traveled in Europe, so that will help them understand that you have that kind of financial stability, that you can travel abroad, as well as you have that kind of exposure. So from my understanding, I have seen that this helps you to get B1 or H1B visa easier compared to if you have not traveled anywhere. So keep this in mind if you are applying for your visas. So best of luck, and let me know your thoughts in the comment. And if you find this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.